Hi, everybody, and welcome to another one of these. I am Mr. Mac Engel of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, joined by Randy Galloway.
Hi.
Randy Galloway is obviously not with us. Instead, to my left is the incredibly handsome and aging very well, Mr. Clarence E. Hill Jr., prior to the University of Texas, class of 54. Clarence, you were at the debacle in New Orleans, maybe one of the ugliest games the Dallas Cowboys have played, at least in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Cowboys are 5-5. They're on the bye. We're pretty sure they won't lose this game. Clarence, right now, you buying or selling the head coach of the Dallas Football Cowboys? Is Jason Garrett going to be this team's head coach in February?
Well, the question is...
No, that was the question.
No.
Don't answer the question with the question, sir.
The question is not,
no.
Is he? The question probably be, should he?
No, we're not asking that. You're not Jerry. Will he? That's not, this is the question.
Yes, he will be.
Thank you.
They'll win the NFC East.
You think they're going to win the NFC East?
They'll win the NFC East, but again... That's not the goal here. The goal was never to win the NFC. The goal was never to be a bad team and win a bad conference and get blown out in the first round. You know,
that's not the goal, but that's what's going to happen.
I know, but as long as that happens, Jerry Jones will see enough to bring him back.
Absolutely.
And again, that's my whole problem with this whole vision.
What vision?
Well, whatever it is,
Jerry vision.
It was shown in painstakingly clear fashion on Sunday. They are so far from the elite teams in the league. Gary said, get into the playoffs and anything can happen. No.
Nothing will happen. Then you watch this team. Clarence, you've seen this team under a number of different coaches. I wrote about it today. I hinted at it. This is the first time I saw that under Jason Garrett, that team laid down.
Well, it looked like they quit, certainly.
Do you think they did?
It's hard to judge because they had me and you out there playing defense. And that is the problem with judging this team, because there are guys who are out there who are off the street guys. Remember Moses Malone said, I can go get 5 guys from the park and win NBA championships.
Go to old school, right.
That's not the case here. You can't go get guys who are on the couch this week and put them in the lineup next week and play NFL football and try to stop somebody. And that's what they were doing last Sunday night. And the sad part is that last drive, they handed the ball off every time.
They still couldn't stop him.
They never made a substitution. They still couldn't stop him. That shows you how much they missed Jason.
Well, then how much
they missed Sean Lee. It shows you how bad these guys are.
How much of this is on Monty Kiffin? How much of this is on Tony Romo and what he's done the last 5 weeks?
Well,
since the Broncos game.
Well, and that's the other thing. We knew the defense was going to be bad. I go back to the Detroit game.
Did you know they were going to be this bad?
I'm talking about coming into the game. These last few weeks, the defense has been bad all season. You had to win games on offense. You had to do what you did against Denver to.
But go back, Clarence. Did you know they were going to be bad? Did you know where they were going to be? This is like historical PlayStation 5 bad.
Not coming into the season, but I'm just saying, as far as the offense is concerned, and Jerry Jones said on his radio show today, the offense is much to blame for that loss as a defense. And I go back to the Detroit game; it's the same as true. They lost that game on offense. They didn't score enough off turnovers. They had the ball twice in the last 3 minutes and couldn't get anything done. So, yes, the defense has been historically bad, and we know that. But getting back to who's the bigger player, it's Jerry Jones. You should have, going into the offseason, draft day, you knew you had defensive issues. You had defensive line issues. Jay Ratliff didn't play last year. He wasn't.
And they counted on him. Why do they keep counting on guys who are hurt? Not to be hurt.
You didn't draft defensive lineman. You drafted a tight end who you don't use when you need a defensive lineman.
Clarence, do you think anybody out there, and when I mean out there, I'm talking about Valley Ranch, do you think Jerry listens to anybody out there?
He does. The problem is Jerry listens to everybody. I mean, that's the reason why they didn't draft the tackle in the first round, because Marinelli and Monty Kiffin said the guy didn't fit the defense. He listens to every. The problem is whoever gets in his ear last is who he goes with, and that's the bigger problem. But hey, Cowboy fans are disillusioned. You think
Cowboy fans or the owners disillusioned?
Oh, I know the owner.
You're not disillusioned. I'm not disillusioned. I don't think any of the fans are.
Well, I think they're numb at this point.
That's for sure.
I think they're numb at this point. I mean, the owner is still going to buy the hope of winning the division and getting into the playoffs. And, he said this morning on the radio, as long as we got Tony Romo, who's one of the top quarterbacks in the league, who has not played that way for the last 5 weeks, they still have a chance.
5 games left. Best case, give me worst case. Well, realistic. I mean, let reality be part of this conversation.
They can be a 9-7 team. Remember, we don't know what Aaron Rodgers in his health
if he might play. We got the Packers in the middle of December.
and you got the Bears, and they have a iffy quarterback situation. So there are games out there for them when they have the Raiders come in here. So there are games for them to win. But, every game is going to be right there. It's going to be a nip and tuck game for the Cowboys because they can't distance themselves from anybody. And this NFC East, boy, oh boy, that game against the Giants next week could be.
They're going to screw the whole thing up for the Cowboys.
Get the Giants first place title in the division. They started 0-6.
Normally the man who occupies this seat is full of sunshine and optimism for the Dallas Cowboys. I bring you a dash of reality. Some people might call it cynicism. I call it truth. Clarence, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
You're looking very good. Meanwhile, his UT Longhorns get ready to keep Mac Brown for another 18 years of fruitful seasons in Austin's. Make sure to join us next week for more insightful, accurate commentary.